All right, you're recording? All right.
I'm recording, I'm recording, I'm recording, I'm recording, I'm recording.
Cool. So, 53.24.
Yeah, 53.24 days.
We're at the end.
Yeah, we're at the exactly 53.24. I think we said 11 o'clock on Monday, November 14th.
Yeah, yeah. So, let me just interview you for a little bit, ask you a couple questions, and just get your thoughts. So, even 53 days removed from the retreat, do you have any memories, things that stick out to you from that?
Yeah, a couple things that stick out is one, like we had talked about before, the sense of community, the camaraderie, the people that we've had that now come to multiple events that we have, and the community itself, just people's faces and being there, just that sense of being there really sticks out. I think the other thing that sticks out for me, frankly, is some of the work that Edie did. I mean, I loved Jason's lesson. I loved that people worked on their 53.24. I thought that was wonderful. I think that devotional, meditations that Edie did, and in particular that last one. I mean, it was just something that we're practicing as unconditional positive regard. I'm practicing that in my own 53.24 way, and to really just meditate and consider, especially in this day and age with what we've got going on right now politically.
Right.
To just really practice listening, to really practice not finding right or wrong or good and bad and making enemies and all of this. I'm really trying to practice a little bit more of understanding and really unconditional positive regard. And to a certain degree, I think Edie brought us there on 2 or 3 occasions. And so I've been able to sustain that practice. We seem to have struck a chord with the whole sleep pattern thing. We know that continues to be a problem in our country, and it's not really getting better. And how many people hit the snooze button and do all that? That was something that really stuck out to me, even to the tune where we might just bring that back next year as a key theme for us. So that did stick out to me. Okay. So there you go.
Now that we're here,
yeah,
let's pause and then we'll
keep
talking. What I wanted to just hear from you was just how you are translating the retreat into some place that is nothing like Southern California and not exactly like the retreat, and how you would coach people who are taking the retreat back to wherever they live,
Well, yeah, I don't think our environment is ever the same, really. And in a lot of other ways, isn't it funny that the familiarity part of Lizard Brain wants the same environment? And so I think we've tried to make that clear even in California. We knew it then. We know that people sit in environments and feel excited and their limbic system gets all excited, and that's why we make commitments that oftentimes don't sustain, because we do get back into familiar environments, and those environments actually are conducive to the old habits. And so, I think things like meditation, that's what I took away from the retreat. That was something, I actually have been doing that for more than 53.24 days. And it's made a huge difference. And environmentally, it doesn't, that's one of the things I really appreciate about it. It doesn't really matter where you are. That's something you can practice. So that's something we're taking away.
Last question, what do you want people to do now that they're at the end of the 53.24 days? What would you coach them now that they're, at the end of it?
Well, I think, first of all, I would remember it. Maybe this video acts as a reminder. We know enough about the hippocampus and that part of the brain that triggers memory. The fact that we're even talking about it. There might be some people listening going, remember I said I was going to do that, or I was going to begin an exercise program or stop a certain thing, and maybe this is a trigger for them. You're going to be listening to this and go, I got to get back on that. We've talked a lot about what it means to get back on the horse. And clearly, every time we do the 53.24 day journey with any group, we have a hope that people would actually go and do that. I know many have. I'm pretty clear that many haven't too.
Okay.
And so just going forward, I would say, begin again. Begin again. And just remember that as you begin something new, the key thing isn't the 53.24 day, because that was the humor between you and I, that you found those 18 independent studies or whatever, and then just divided by 18 based on what that was the humor of that. It's not that 53.24 days really has any relevance. To me, what really has relevance is day 2 and day 3 and day 4. And the difficulty of that, and that we would embrace when we start something new, that day 1, you can live off the excitement. Day 2, it starts to wane, and so to really stay with something for those first 2 or 3 days, I think you give yourself a good fighting chance.
All right, last question, man. What's encouraging you? What successes have you heard? What do you see people doing as a result? Where do you see them going?
You know, we spent so much time based on Jason's lesson and the idea of habits. I've heard a lot of people actually alter their morning schedule. I've certainly talked to quite a few people that we're working with one-on-one who are getting up earlier consistently. It wasn't easy. I keep hearing that. But it's become habit for quite a few people. They're getting up, they're reading. Some people are getting up. I can think of a couple instances where people are actually getting up and walking. You know, they wanted to go to gyms and they wanted to do some crazy stuff, but instead they realized that it was some smaller steps that seemed more palatable to them. And so to hear about people who now get up and don't spend a lot of time with the snooze and go out and go for a walk. And actually, beyond that, I've heard some pretty big ones with regard to nutrition, with regard to health, and quite a few with regard to some work habits. So that certainly has been an encouragement to me, and just kind of gives me the idea that the work that we're doing actually is, it's not just this theoretical thing, but it's pragmatic, it's functional for people, and that's why we do what we do.
That seems like a really good place to leave it, man.
Yeah, good.